You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor. Welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Hey, I've got a special guest here for everyone to meet today from Southwest Florida. My awesome member, Suzanne Vasbinder. Susan, welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show.
Hi, Craig. How are you doing today?
I'm good, and I'm always great when I'm talking to you because you're always doing really cool stuff. Let's talk about what you're doing right now that's really cool. And then I want to go back and talk about how you got involved with me, kind of like what you were doing in real estate, how you were going about it, and how that's changed over the last couple of years. So take it away. Tell everyone a little bit about who you are and what you got going on.
Well, I'm Suzanne Vasbinder, and I own the Upfront Guarantee Realty, and are based out of Cape Coral, Florida, but we service everybody basically from Port Charlotte all the way down to Marco Island. So this year has actually been a little different than most years. We had a little major event happen September 28th in 2022. That was Hurricane Ian. So, it was,
that was total devastation. I mean, okay, so everyone, I have a house in Sarasota, so I'm a little further north than Suzanne, but I was watching this from the cameras on my house when I was up north here. And you were right in the center of this. Just explain to everybody what that was like, because Suzanne, we were talking before we got started. Real estate agents, we complain about our problem, and interest rates are going up, and I got this buyer that won't buy. I mean, this was total devastation of your area. Just explain to everybody, because you lived right through that. Explain what happened there.
Well, we stayed home for Hurricane Ian, even though they had mentioned storm surge. I've been gone through 5 or 6 hurricanes since I've lived in Florida, and never have seen storm surge. So we're like, okay, it's another, where are we going to go? I mean, we've got 5 puppies and everything else. I was like, we're just going to stay home. And we live, we do live right on the water, but we live in a 2-story home. So I said, worst case scenario, we can always go upstairs. So, everything's starting off okay, normal hurricane stuff. We've got we've got our power still on, we've got TV still on, we're still able, and then everything started going north at that point in time, or south, meaning that we lost power. Then we could start seeing, we're looking outside and we saw that, oh my God, water's rising. And there goes a dock. Oh, we can't even see the.
So Suzanne, at what point were you like, okay, this is not like a normal, like often the media overblows things, right? Same thing, I'm in Canada. So it's always like, oh, this is going to be the winter storm of this century. And it usually, they overplay it and the storm isn't as bad. And so you sat through a bunch of these, and it's usually the case, right? Usually they make it a bigger deal on the media. But at this one, you're like, oh my God, this is real. Like, at what point were you like, this is serious?
When we saw the canal, just kind of the water just rise. And then I went to the front of the house and there's water there too rising. I'm like, oh, we're on an island now. I mean, you have water to the side of the house too. And then we could see it overflowing into our pool area. So it came about within a foot coming into our house. So we were blessed by that. But I mean, there was about 5 feet in the front yard. And, of course, God only knows, we had probably about, I would say 11, 12 feet of storm surge. So, but we saw the next morning, we saw fish in our swimming pool, which is not normal. And actually there was a hammerhead shark right across the canal from us too, that ended up in the palm trees. So there was a lot of, it was totally different. So the next morning we got up and, when it was daylight, of course, no power, nothing. So we started doing some recognition on what's going on here. How bad was this? I mean, our pool cage was damaged, some water, the water spouts were down, and some other things, some roof damage, but nothing totally major compared to some other people in our area.
So you kind of made it through, I'm not going to say unscathed, but when you started to drive around the area, is that when you realized, holy crap, like this is way worse than.
Well, we went up.
Yeah. So tell us what, like that discovery that next day when you're driving around, what did you see?
Well, I went to check on some of my listings and some of my clients that were, of course, up north or, that had evacuated. And I mean, there was our mailbox made it 2 blocks down the street, floated away. So then there was fish all over the street, which is not normal. Then there was boats all over the place also. And halfway through the storm, I'm looking at this boat just going by our window, and I'm like, what jerk is taking out?
It's like a movie. It's like a movie, really.
I mean, who's taking out a boat? And it's not as if it's basically a boat all by itself going out there and beach
the ghost boat.
I mean, it's just
ghost boat.
Oh, but there was a lot of those. I mean, there was boats upside down all over the place. I mean, it was boats on the road. So we went to check on my parents the next morning, and they were fine. They didn't flood, but their neighbors on both sides of them did flood. They had about 3 to 4 feet of water in their house. There was boats all over the roads. I mean, you had downed trees. I mean, it was not a pretty sight.
It was total devastation. So the reason we're sharing this story with you folks watching is Suzanne's business didn't just survive, it thrived. And this is why you want to have a strong business, because as we all know, life will throw things at us. Okay. And, bad things are going to happen, right? Like that's life. And so you want to make sure you've got a real business. So what does a real business mean to you, Suzanne? Explain when we talk about having a real business, what does that look like for you?
Well, first of all, is you cannot listen to all the things, all the noise around you. You've got to go back to the basics, listen to people that know what they're talking about, and also go back to data. And so I knew as soon as we went back to the data, I'm like, okay, we're going to be good. The prices are actually going to go back up again. So what we heard all over the news, we had, all the bottom feeders were coming in. Oh, cash for your house, cash for your house, cash for your house. But they were offering pennies on the dollars.
Right.
Well, some people, of course, took advantage or were taking advantage with that. But then you had to go back to reality and say, no, this is not what's going on here. Because after every single hurricane, prices have actually gone up. Because at the end of the day, you've got to remember, we come down to supply and demand. So we estimate about 5,000 homes were totally destroyed with Hurricane Ian. Another 13,000 homes had major damage.
Right.
And over 379,000 Florida households are receiving assistance from FEMA. So you're looking at, this is going to be one of the biggest storms out there that ever happened. And they're saying that about 97% of the buildings on Fort Myers Beach were either damaged or had or were destroyed. So, but coming back to the basics here is 1 in 5 only had flood insurance. So where I live in Cape Coral, there was never a FEMA claim before. This is first FEMA claim.
Right.
So what people were doing is we were starting to, they were selling their home. They're like, okay, we don't want to live here. We want to buy something else, but they're staying in the area. They're upgrading. So they were actually selling their homes for more money now than they would have been able to do it before the storm.
Okay. Supply and demand. Okay.
Supply and demand.
All right. So this was unexpected, obviously unwanted. But your business has continued to flourish. Now, I want to get into your business model here. Again, Suzanne serves Southwest Florida. Her brokerage is Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And Suzanne, why should a home buyer or a home seller choose to do business with you versus all of the other real estate agent choices they have in Southwest Florida?
Well, we've got the buyers for the sellers, and we do have a lot of listings. Also, we have access to a lot of off-market properties. We work with some builders that choose to place their inventory with us, but they don't want it advertised till it's near completion. Also, what we do is we're a little different. We supply our agents with appointments. And we've got tons of leads. We've got an overflow of leads right now, and we can't even get to them. That's how many we've got. But it's a little different model. One of the things that we
it's a very different model. Does everyone hear that? When you partner up with Suzanne as a real estate agent, they don't give you leads. It's not like Zillow leads, scraped information. No, it's not that at all. Suzanne is an expert at marketing, And what she has accomplished, and I'll say this for her because she's modest, she's created a marketing machine where she creates more listing appointments and buyer appointments than she could possibly go on. So she has a team of highly skilled agents that go out and meet with the buyers and sellers. Now, think about this. So pay attention. If you're a real estate agent in Southwest Florida, you literally, if you worked with Suzanne, would be getting listing appointments on your day timer, not leads, listing appointments and buyer appointments. And then Suzanne takes care of all the marketing. She takes care of all the administrative stuff. So basically, as a real estate agent, think of how much money you can make if you're just going from listing appointment to listing appointment to a listing appointment. You didn't have to worry about who's going to put up the sign, who's going to take the pictures, who's going to make the feature sheets, who's going to get the key cut, who's going to install the key box. All of that is done for you. Suzanne also spends an enormous amount of time with her team members, coaching them and training them how to be super effective at the listing presentation and buyer presentation. And you might ask, well, why does she do all that? Well, obviously, the more money you make, the more money Suzanne makes. So I wanted to throw that pitch in there for you, Suzanne, because you've got such an amazing opportunity for agents in Southwest Florida. And I know some realtors that would watch this would think that sounds too good to be true, but this is what we do. This is what we do all over the United States and Canada is we create superstar agents that become so successful at Craig Proctor marketing that first they get themselves super busy, but you get to the point where you just literally cannot go out and meet with all the buyers and sellers. And it was that type of strong business that helped you get through a very difficult time in Southwest Florida when Hurricane Ian hit.
Right. I mean, we had, first of all, we stand beside what we say, right? We've got some unique selling propositions. For the sellers, we say, hey, if we don't sell your home, we'll buy it, right? And for the buyers, we guarantee that if they're not happy with their home purchase after a year, we'll sell it for free. I mean, it's not an issue.
Those are bold promises. Did everyone see that? Let's look at these one by one. So you guarantee to a seller, if you can't sell their house in the agreed upon time, that you'll actually buy the house. Correct.
Yes. And actually, we're actually taking that up to the next level. We're going to be going in with guaranteed cash offers of the listing appointment.
So if I want to sell my house, I call you and you've already got cash offers on my house. And if I don't like those cash offers, you'll even give me a guarantee in writing that if you haven't sold my house in X amount of days, you're going to buy it, not at some undetermined price, but at the upfront pre-agreed price in writing.
Exactly.
All right. So let's pause there because realtors will be watching this and they're like, okay, how do you do this? Aren't you going to get stuck with all these homes? Aren't you going to buy these homes? Well, those questions are very normal questions. All that means is you don't understand how the guaranteed sale program works. And some of you watching this might have some kind of negative connotation like, oh, well, this is a bait and switch and Suzanne really doesn't buy houses. No, that's not true at all. This is something that actually helps buyers and sellers. And as real estate agents, we have these impressions on things, and this doesn't really matter whether you as a real estate agent personally like the idea of a guaranteed sale program. Doesn't really matter because the clients love it. Right. So Suzanne's come to the marketplace in Southwest Florida. She says to sellers, I'll tell you what, we'll give you an upfront guarantee that no other real estate agent will give you here in Southwest Florida. We give you an upfront guarantee. We're going to agree on what your home is worth. We're going to give you in writing a guarantee that we're both going to agree on. Like, this is what your guarantee is going to be. And we will buy your home if we don't sell it to an outside buyer. But the client always gets the benefit of the highest offer, whether it's Suzanne's upfront guarantee in writing or a superior offer from an outside buyer. So this is better than an iBuyer company, right? Like an iBuyer company, you go to their website and you get a guarantee and you got to live with that price. No. If we sell the house for more money, the seller always gets the higher price. Now let's switch over to that buyer offer you were talking about.
Well, especially through the pandemic, we were selling a lot of homes sight unseen, right? People, because our state was one of the very few states that was actually 100% operational. So people from all over, we sold homes to people from California, Utah, New York, all over. And so they were coming down, and we were selling homes, with our cell phones. Okay, this is a tour of it right now.
So you were selling homes to people that weren't looking, did not look at the house.
No.
Sight unseen.
Yeah, sight unseen and everything. So we're like, okay, sitting back on that, I've got to come up with some kind of backup plan if they're not happy with it, because I wanted to take the risk out of it, because I understand they wanted to be in Florida, but if you've never been here, you just want to make sure that this is the right place. So we are the right neighborhood. So we'd sell the house, and we told our buyers, hey, if you're not happy after a year, we'll sell it for free. You just have to buy another house for us, right? But we at least you get to see, and you don't have to worry about rentals or anything like that, because rentals are really hard to get through the pandemic. So at least they had a place to stay. No, but we did a lot of due diligence with the buyers and everything like that, showed them everything about the area, showed them, hey, these are the restaurants around. We gave them the whole package. So actually not one of them asked us to do it. And we actually went to them and say, hey, are you still happy with your house? Oh my God, we love it. Thank you so much for everything you've done and everything else. And now our friends want to buy a house too. So we've been doing more and more business with their friends, but they liked the risk-free kind of approach, because they knew we wanted to be here.
Realtors, would you agree that what Suzanne's talking about is something that the customers, the clients would really like? Let me know in the comments below if you are understanding why Suzanne Vasbinder is so successful in Southwest Florida. She's guaranteeing the seller that when she meets the seller and she looks at the house and they agree on what the home is worth, which is a conversation we have with all the sellers, right? We got to agree with what the house is worth. She gives them a guarantee in writing that I'll sell your house for the value, the number, price that we agree or more, or I'll buy the home. And then she says to buyers, hey, look, I'm not one of these real estate agents that's just trying to slam dunk you into any home. No, I want to find you the right home. So I'm going to give you in writing a guarantee that if I sell you a home and you're not completely happy with that home, you call me up, we'll buy back that house as long as you buy another home using our services. This is not what other agents offer. And you can see these type of guarantees remove the risk for buyers and sellers. Now, let me ask everyone watching this, do you like risk? You can see why she's successful, right? She's taking on part of the risk to make it easier and less risky for clients to do business with Suzanne versus all the other agents. Now, I know if you're watching this, you have questions, right? How does this work? How does Suzanne do this? Is this allowed, right? Are we breaking any rules? These are all normal things. Is this a bait and switch? Let me answer this. We hear this quite a bit about the bait and switch. Okay, so I'm going to tell everyone a little secret about Suzanne. Suzanne, with her marketing, she offers stuff that buyers and sellers really want, and she makes it easy and non-threatening for buyers and sellers to call you instead of the other agents. So the marketing is really good. It's what the buyers and sellers want. Now, let me ask you guys this. What are you advertising? A house? What are you saying to the buyers? I'm going to represent your best service, your best interest. How's that working for you? What are you saying to sellers? I'll give you a free CMA. How's that working? We have to up our game, folks, when it comes to marketing, or you're going to sound like everybody else. You're going to sound like a salesperson. Do you notice how Suzanne comes across as somebody that's helpful? She's trying to solve your problem. It's like, hey, buyer, I know that some of you are buying homes without looking at it. Or how about this? This happened even more often. The buyer in a real hot market, they were looking at the house with Suzanne, but there were 12 other offers. And the buyer knew that if they made it conditional on a home inspection or conditional on anything else, that their offer wouldn't be accepted. So, imagine buying a house and you can't even put a home inspection in it. So Suzanne stepped up to the plate, which she still does today. And she says, look, if you buy the house, it's not the right house for you. I am going to give you in writing a guarantee that I will buy this home back as long as you buy the next house. Realtors, how are you going to compete with this? I want you to imagine you're in Southwest Florida. You're a realtor in Southwest Florida. What is your offer to buyers and sellers? If the seller, honestly, the seller was interviewing Suzanne and they were interviewing you, what would you say to cause yourself an advantage? What could be more powerful than saying to the seller, I'm going to guarantee I'll buy the damn thing if we don't sell it. I'm going to give you an upfront guarantee. And if I sell the home for more than what I promised you, you always get the higher amount, not me. That's a pretty good offer. So why would we think, oh, well, this would be bad for the client? This is really good for the client. Now, yes. Suzanne's marketing is so good that guess what? She doesn't have to worry about buying the property because she sells them. Right? This is why most agents say, oh my God, I get stuck with these homes. There'd be a run on my bank account. How would I do this? Because you don't have the confidence that you're actually going to sell the home for that price or more. So we got to fix the marketing. Suzanne, you didn't start off with Craig Proctor. You didn't start off with the Guaranteed Sale program, right? All the stuff I'm talking about, that's what you thought when you first met me. Yep. You probably thought the same thing. Oh my God, I could never do this. This is wrong. I'll be breaking rules. I'll get stuck with all these houses.
Well, these are just old paradigms, right? Because, I came from a big box. I was with Century 21 at that point when I first met you. And I had just, it was November, and I went in for surgery on my foot and came out, and I was bedridden basically for 6 weeks. No weight bearing or anything like that. And I'm like, okay, I don't have a business anymore. Because, I was a traditional agent, right? So then you happened to pop into my mailbox one day, and you were coming down to
Here I am.
and Naples. So I said, I've got to go down and see what he has to say. So went to the half day, and you were actually doing the half day, not James that time, but Hilton in Naples. And so I'm like, sign me up. And you were sold out you were recruiting for the Orlando, which was going to be in June. I'm like, I'm not waiting till June because I knew you had something in February over on the East Coast. So I called Kim. I said, I need to be in February. So she said, okay. So went into the super conference after the first hour or so. I'm like, okay, I need to sign up for coaching with Craig. And then you made me sit for 3 days. And I was ready to sign because I'm a high D person. That's it. I'm like, oh my God, okay, when can we sign up? When can we sign up? So I did sign up, and in a few months after that, signed up for coaching, then upgraded to the platinum. And then almost 2 years ago, I went titanium, and then got a license for your home store guarantee realty. And we've been open for about 1.5 years now and never looked back. I mean, it's just been the best thing that I've ever done because you and Todd have taught me about marketing, right? Nobody else teaches you about marketing. They teach you you know how you sell a house? You go get the listing, then you make sure you put the sign in, and then you do the open houses. But you've got to be there at least Saturday and Sunday all day because you never know who's going to stop by. And, you've got to go door knocking also. Yeah, that's very important. Go door knocking and then cold calling.
It's funny when we look back at it, but all of you watching this right now, when we got, I don't even have to ask everybody here. Like when you got into real estate, here's what you did. You did the same thing that Suzanne and I did. You look around at what all the other agents do and you copy all the dumb stuff they tell us to do. Knock on doors, sit in open houses, do floor time, run pretty boy advertising. I'm great. Call me. I work hard. We do a whole cold calling, door knocking, buying leads from Zillow, which is just scraped information, right? It's not a real lead. No. I mean, I see some agents spending $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month with Zillow. And number one, they don't answer the phone. Number two, when they do, what they say to you. I don't know who you are. I didn't do that. We're not thinking about moving. We're just looking. We've got another realtor. You mentioned the word paradigms a few minutes ago, Suzanne.
Right.
Paradigms are other people's habits.
Mm-hmm.
So we get into real estate and we look around at what other people are doing and we copy them. Like no matter what, if you're watching this right now, obviously you're watching this now, no matter what you're doing, you copied it from somebody else, right? Whatever you're doing right now, you didn't invent it. You copied it from someone else. So we're just saying there's a better model to copy. You want to copy agents that have real business models. So it doesn't matter whether it's Hurricane Ian Suzanne's like, yeah, we were totally unprepared for this. And it was terrible. And it totally devastated the economy here in Southwest Florida. But we've come out of this thing stronger than ever because we have a real business model. Now, the brokerage that Suzanne has is a Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty brokerage. So this is a Craig Proctor brokerage. When I started back in the day, I would license my intellectual property to real estate agents. And then they grew big teams like Suzanne did. And then we said, hey, would you guys like to license Craig Proctor's intellectual property to create an entire brokerage where you, Suzanne, the broker owner, can build equity, build this business for yourself instead of, Century 21 or Remax or Keller Williams or building someone else's brand. Suzanne's building something for herself, her own company. But now she's licensed to share all the Craig Proctor intellectual property with all the agents that partner up with her. So you don't really have to understand today how all this stuff works. If you're in Southwest Florida, what you need to do, honestly, just give Suzanne a call. Just have a conversation. There's no downside to this. You can see she's a very nice person. She'll walk you through it. And at the end of the conversation, you're going to know whether this is right for you or not. I mean, all good things start with a conversation. Now, if you're not in Southwest Florida and you want to get more information on Craig Proctor, see, I produce Suzanne Vasbinders all over the country. That's what I do. And then I help. Yes, I clone. So maybe some of you watching this want to be my next Suzanne Vasbinder in your marketplace. So you can book a call with me. All you have to do is go to proctorcall.com. So no space, just my name, proctorcall.com. We'll drop everything. I'll tell you what, Suzanne, we'll drop my information and your contact information in the comments below this. And so, and all you have to do is Google Suzanne if you want to reach her. I mean, that's how people do it. Google her, have a conversation. You might even want to start off like, hey, I really watch this. I'm excited. I really like your approach, Suzanne. But, you just need to have some more information about this. This would be a confidential call with me or with Suzanne. Like, we're going to keep it private. It's just a conversation between us. We would answer your questions and we would explain how this would work for you. But I promise you this, if you get involved with me as an agent or you partner up with Suzanne, 3 things I promise you will happen in your life. You will make more money, you will have more time, and you will have more freedom in your life. And that's why you got into real estate, right? You
That's 100% true. Yeah.
Like what? Why do we forget that? Set your ego aside, because that's what, I think about this. Well, what Suzanne has going on in Southwest Florida is so much better. It's such a great opportunity. The question is, why wouldn't every real estate agent in Southwest Florida want to partner up with Suzanne? There's 2 reasons. Either number 1, they don't understand the opportunity, or number 2, they don't believe it, because there's a good degree of skepticism. That's why I encourage you, don't live in the shadows. Don't be skeptical. Suzanne's very approachable. I like to think I am as well. Just book a call with us. Okay. Google Suzanne Vasbinder. Okay. She's with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, Southwest Florida. You'll find her there. Again, we'll drop in her contact information below. To reach me, it's proctorcall.com. Okay. It's a clickable link. You'll go to my Acuity Day Timer, book a day and a time that works. We'll have a conversation. I'll get you to fill in a bit of a questionnaire about where you are and where you want to go in your business. And we'll give you a real helpful conversation about how you can do some of these things. And then you can decide at the end of our conversation, hey, is this for me, or do I just want to keep doing what I'm doing? Now, I'll also give everyone my personal email address. It's craig@craigproctor.com. So it's craig@craigproctor.com. If you want to email me, I'll give you my office number as well. We're open Monday to Friday. We're on East Coast time. Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's 1-800-538-1034. Okay, 1-800-538-1034. I'm never there, by the way, but they can take a message. Easiest way probably is just craig@craigproctor.com. Okay. Final thoughts, Suzanne, before we wrap up our time here today.
The best thing I ever did was show up at the Hilton in Naples, Florida. I mean, that's the best thing I've ever never done. And I tell you, my business has gone up year after year, because I remember my old broker telling me, you will never sell more houses than this particular agent at a brokerage. Well, I mean, I've tripled what she's done. And she was number one, the nice awards that you get all the time. She got them every year. And I'm like, you know what? That's not right. So I tripled. I didn't double. I tripled what she does. And business, actually a lot more than she does in business now. But that's just me personally. But my goal is, eventually to get out of production and to grow a huge business. So I'm just managing the business, right? And that, which is what you and Todd are teaching us how to do it. But right now we take vacations, and I've got people back here that can handle any emergency. Life is good, isn't it? Yeah, it's very good. And yes, and yeah, we just came back from Cancun.
Yeah, we had a great time there. We were there for a Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty meeting. We had a couple hundred of our top members there, like Suzanne. Great time, and we celebrated my birthday there, which was
it was
awesome.
A lot of fun.
But I want to say this, Suzanne, you deserve all the success that you're having because you took the chance. Okay, Suzanne said, I don't want to live the life of an ordinary real estate agent. Been there, done that. And Suzanne was curious and took action on new opportunities. That's what we're asking all you to do. We're not saying give us money. We're not saying that. We're not saying take any chances. We're saying be prudent, but be open to new approaches, better approaches. Let me ask you this. What if this is true? What if I was the number one RE/MAX agent in the entire world within 36 months of having my license? What if that's true? What if I've helped over 30,000 agents have more money and more time and more freedom in their life? Right? What if I've created more millionaire agents than any other coach or trainer or guru out there? What if that's true? Why don't you explore this? Why are we listening to some of these characters that have never even had a real estate license? Right? Why are we listening? Yeah. Why are we listening to people who have never sold real estate? Or, someone can't look at somebody that has never made millions of dollars a year selling real estate. It's very difficult for them to tell you how to do something they've never done. Okay. Everything you want to do in real estate is already being done by myself and Suzanne and thousands of other Craig Proctor members. All you have to do is copy. You don't have to have a creative bone in your body. Because I know what you thought when you got into real estate. Here's what you thought. If I'm a really good real estate agent, that should be enough, right? I'm going to be really good. I'm going to care about my customers. I'm going to work hard. Well, do you know there are hundreds of thousands of really good, skilled real estate agents that really care about their clients and they work hard and they're starving to death. Being a good real estate agent, now hear me on this. Being a good real estate agent isn't good enough if people don't know who you are.
That's true.
Okay, so how do you explain me? I out of the gate with my real estate license, I'd never sold anything in my life. I knew nothing about marketing when I started in real estate. Within 36 months, I was the number one RE/MAX agent, not in the country, in the world for RE/MAX. Where they got 150,000 agents. Nobody made more money than me. And I did that year after year after year. Why? Because of the marketing. Don't you think within 30, there were probably tens of thousands of RE/MAX agents that were better agents than me. I'd only had my license for 36 months. How could I be the most experienced, the most competent, biggest? I didn't have any of what the other agents had, but I understood marketing. So if you kind of feel that way, if you feel like, you know what, dang, I'm a good agent. I know I'm a good agent. I know I do a good job for my customers. I really care about them. I work hard. But the problem is not enough people know about you. Let me fix that. Your number one battle is obscurity. Let me give you an analogy. Hey, Suzanne, we've probably been to, a restaurant that's maybe like a hole in the wall restaurant, right? Like if we drove around Southwest Florida, because you're a local person, right? You know that these obscure restaurants that snowbirds wouldn't know about them, but the locals know about them, right? And the food is really good and the service is great, but that little hole in the wall diner has a marketing problem. right? And some of them even go out of business. And you're like, I can't believe that place went out of business. They've got the best food, they've got the best service, but they had a marketing problem. So the moral of the story here, we're all real estate licenses. We have licenses, right? We're real estate agents and we have a license, but you're a marketer first. You have to understand you're a marketer first. If you're not a marketer first, it doesn't matter how good you are with the clients that not enough people know about you. It'd be like if you were the world's greatest baseball player. I mean, you could hit the ball right out of the park, but if the manager never puts you up to bat, if you don't have any at bats, you're not going to get any home runs. Let us help you. You're good at what you do. We have the lead generation and the appointments set up for you. We have listing appointments that are waiting for you. We have buyer appointments that are waiting. All you have to do is have a conversation with us about how this all works. You'll take a massive shortcut. You'll get rid of your frustrations. How many of you would like to have even 2 more closings a month? Think of what a difference that would be. Whatever it is, pay off your debt, buy a new car, whatever. Having even 2 more closings a month would make a tremendous difference to all of you. That's what we start off with. That's to start off. And then we do 4 transactions and then we do 8 transactions. Step into this, guys. Lean into this. If you're still watching this, you're interested. You're here for a reason. We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank again, Suzanne Vasbinder, Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty in Southwest Florida, for doing an awesome interview with me, Suzanne. Thanks as always.
Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Craig, for having me on. And if anybody wants to talk about it, my business has, I can't do anything but thank you and Todd for growing my business. And all I do is copy and paste. That's all we want you guys to do is copy and paste. I remember at first I'm like, oh my God, I can't do this cheesy ads or something like that. And then I tried to do it my way. And of course that didn't work. And so as soon as I did it Craig's way and Todd's way, guess what? I've got a business.
It's a formula. Okay. Yeah. So give Suzanne a call. You're Southwest Florida. You're calling Suzanne Vasbinder. You can have a conversation, pick her brain. She'll explain how it works. Everybody else, if you're not in Southwest Florida, you're going to call me. You're going to book a call with me at proctorcall.com, or you can email me, craig@craigproctor.com. Thank you so much for watching this. We're going to wrap it up. This is the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Thank you. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are 2 important things, and both are totally free. Number 1 is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.